Downtown Louisville holds a towering relic of the 1920s. The Brown Hotel was built to bring the massive architectural scale and formal atmosphere of European luxury right into the American Midwest. Local lore insists the building is haunted by the man who built it, James Graham Brown. The story goes that his ghost looks down on guests from the mezzanine, leaving behind only an empty space and the faint smell of cigar smoke. Walk into that lobby today, and the atmosphere is a collision of demographics. You'll see modern tourists and guests in formal wear arriving for expensive weddings, brushing shoulders with aging hard rock fans killing time before a show. A cigar-smoking phantom makes for good local flavor, but it obscures the actual haunting of this building, a history written in court orders and protest lines. The physical space is defined by the very real, very complex human beings who built it, controlled it, and ultimately decided who was allowed inside. James Graham Brown arrived in Louisville in 1903. He was a single-minded visionary who poured his entire focus into commercial real estate, almost single-handedly shaping the architectural skyline of the downtown area. But his vision for a vibrant city center was strictly enforced by race. Every institution he built, including the hotel bearing his name, violently excluded Black citizens. The tension cracked in the winter of 1959. During a Christmas performance of Porgy and Bess, Black ticket holders were physically barred from entering the theater, even though the production itself was performed by an entirely Black cast. That blatant rejection sparked a massive civil rights backlash. Sit-ins and demonstrations erupted outside the hotel and spread rapidly across downtown, leading to mass arrests over the next 3 years. This graph charts the heavy economic toll those protests took on local commerce. A Buy Nothing for Easter campaign quickly gathered 75,000 signatures, starving the segregated businesses of revenue. The intense pressure broke the local government. By 1963, Louisville became the very first city south of the Mason-Dixon line to ban segregated accommodations, a legal milestone accelerated by the intense friction created by Brown's own stubborn prejudice. Brown himself fought those changing laws until the bitter end, using his wealth and influence to resist desegregation mandates as long as the legal system would allow. While millions were mobilizing nationwide to dismantle racial barriers, Brown dug his heels in, attempting to preserve a shrinking exclusionary worldview right in the middle of a national movement. He died single and without heirs. He left his entire extensively hoarded real estate fortune to a foundation bearing his name. Over the decades, that foundation has systematically distributed his wealth, doing incredible, measurable work to improve education, infrastructure, and daily life for people of all races across Louisville. We are left with a jagged paradox: an individual who actively enforced brutal, prejudiced policies inadvertently bankrolled a massive philanthropic force for the very people he tried to exclude. Curious. That complicated history brings us back to the aging fans waiting in the lobby. They are here to see Blue Öyster Cult perform inside the historically segregated Brown Theater. In the 1970s, the band abandoned the Gothic tropes of 19th century horror, pivoting instead towards more terrestrial threats. They focused their lyrics on human monsters, outlaws, junkies, and the societal outcasts who occupied the fringes of American life. That gritty, rebellious fanbase stands in stark contrast to the quiet, blue-blooded history of the architecture surrounding them. The gold leaf ceilings and velvet seats were explicitly designed to keep people like this out. By filling the theater with the exact demographics it was once designed to exclude, the performance effectively overwrites the building's original intent. For one night, the loud, distorted chords draw a crowd of misfits into the very center of a Gilded Age sanctuary. After the show, the modern reality of the Brown Hotel bleeds through the guest floors. Late at night, the velvet silence is broken. You hear the chaotic echoes of drunk wedding guests stumbling down the hall, the muffled sounds of domestic arguments through the plaster, and the raw, unpolished messiness of human life. The heavy, humid 1920s architecture acts as a physical amplifier for human chaos, trapping noise and heat within its thick, ornate walls. You don't need a literal apparition pacing the mezzanine to feel the weight of this place. The cigar smoke is just a distraction. The entities that haunt us are the flawed, prejudiced, and immensely powerful humans who poured concrete and drafted laws. When we occupy these historic spaces, we are inherently sharing a room with their legacy.